Hey, we're on. Good to see you there. What's going on? Welcome back to St. Louis at the Impact Gaming Center. I'm Gordon. With me is Cash. We've got one final series of the night where St. Clair and Mars Hill will do battle in a best-of-5 series for a chance to move on to Sunday. That's the word on the street right now. Well, at least it was. St. Clair has already gone ahead and moved on into what will be the Sunday bracket. I believe Mars Hill might have been knocked out of contention by the hands of Wichita State, but I'm not 100% sure on that narrative just yet, or am I? And I'm just saying that to build tension and suspense. I don't know. We'll find out. St. Clair 21-3 so far throughout the season on their series win-loss. 19-3 for the S&D is one of the best that we have inside of the CCL, and a 20-2 on Overload also fits the narrative and the bill in that same breath. The hard point, not really anything there that's left to be desired. This is a very good St. Clair team that both you and I have already discussed ad nauseum, really, that we kind of expect to be there in the grand finals, fighting for the championship, and at least in our eyes are our favorites going into tomorrow, with a lot of great teams still chomping at the bits, wanting to be able to take down the St. Clair Saints Club.
This is definitely who has the target on their back going into tomorrow, and a team that, for very good reason, we've talked, like you said, ad nauseum, just you and I, let alone the people we've run into this weekend. The one word that keeps coming up in conversation about St. Clair, for you and I know specifically, is this the year? We talked even before, arriving here, right? This has to be the year, it feels like, for them. Mm-hmm. But also, the tenure is why everyone says that. Is this the year? This team has been a core four for, just about 4 years. And they've also been, outside of CCL, a challengers team together as 4 players.
Mm-hmm. The Cabal roster last year.
The power of friendship is a very hard thing to beat. In our interview with Brack, we talked about that, where he's like, that's going to be our toughest test. As far as gameplay goes, gun skill goes, we match toe-to-toe, but the intangibles that this St. Clair team brings, that's what is most nerve-wracking for teams that are trying to pull off the win in, the grand final setting tomorrow.
Well, looks like the Mars Hill Lions are going to go ahead and give themselves a Scar hardpoint to start things off here. St. Clair going to grab a Sake hardpoint for map 4. Are we in the Twilight Zone? I think we might be dreaming. This is the first time we are going to see this on the CCL broadcast this year. So glad we didn't get a Clifftown. That would have been boring. Here in the Search and Destroy, Fringe will be the first ban from St. Clair, not wanting to play an oldie but a goodie inside of this best-of-5 series. No worries, Mars Hill probably didn't want to play it either. They'll ban Plaza, the other map that is new inside of our rotation for Search and Destroy. That is going to leave us with 4 options. Gridlock going to be knocked in for map number 2. One of my favorite maps ever inside of Call of Duty, was one of my favorite staples from Black Ops 4. This is a map that came forward. I think it plays well. Robert doesn't think so, but Robert's opinion doesn't really all that matter too much here on the broadcast. For the side of Mars, for the side of Mars Hill, we will take. Did you mute me? Am I still muted?
No, I think you're good.
He muted me.
I think you're good.
Oh, am I good? Okay. Well, we got to raid Search and Destroy. Map 5 and exposure will be gone here for map 3. The St. Clair Saints are going to pick Scar Overload for map 3. So we have ourselves a best-of-5 series here, Amber. We have a Scar, a Gridlock, a Scar, a Sake, and a raid at the end. Guaranteed 3 has 2 Scars in it. I couldn't be more disappointed.
I was hoping you wouldn't fluff it up for the people. I was like, I hope he doesn't say happier.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't lie to the people like that.
I wouldn't lie to the people.
The same way we wouldn't lie that we're fighting for a chance for Sunday.
I'm building suspense is what I'm doing. I'm not lying to anybody.
Tension was the word you used, but sure.
Well, tension, suspense, there's a lot of words you can throw in the pool here. Making it to Sunday's not one of them for Mars Hill, but St. Clair on the other side, obviously still going to be fighting here throughout the rest of the weekend. So talking about Scar Hardpoint here, Mars Hill, genuinely speaking, this was kind of the map that has been their staple over the course of the week. I know that we've talked about that a lot because they get it through pretty much every single time when they play inside of their series, at least here on the broadcast. But this is something that goes back into the regular season as well for Mars Hill, where it has been a very well-rounded, well-paced, and well-played map for them across all, really all maps and modes, but specifically, obviously, Hardpoint sticking out the most. I think that map 2 Gridlock, it's going to be quite interesting here. I think St. Clair, maybe they go for an unorthodox pick. Maybe they just wanted to play something a little newer, little something a little crazy. I don't know.
Maybe if it goes well tonight, it's just something they caveat. Again, we talk about what is or isn't on the line. Mars Hill's still going to be a great team to figure out. Is this something we can kind of just put in the back pocket for tomorrow? And that's why the socket pit could also be in their map 4. I think that's what we're seeing out of St. Clair, potentially. There's a funny man walking around with...
I'm not going to lie. So I made... It's funny. I made fun of Robert's opinion. Then he walked over here to me with a sign on his phone that says, OBS monitor died. Please fill. So if this couldn't get any better than it already was, you get to hear us intentionally fluff for the next however long it takes for the OBS monitor to reinstall.
Too long.
So let's take a look at our two teams. Hello to St. Clair. Hello, KB. Hello, Seawatts. Hello, Rupert. Hello, boys. On the opposite side, we'll say hello to all the fancy and beautiful gentlemen on the side of Mars Hill. Hello, Lucho. Hello, Aaron. Hello, AG. I said 3 names for St. Clair. I was going to say 3 names for them, too, and then I was going to let you fill in the blanks for the last ones.
Oh, there's something going on up here in my brain. Crunching.
A lot of fun and interesting thoughts, I'm sure. Intriguing intellectual analytics that are going to come in for this series. I doubt none.
I don't want to give anything away too early, you know?
Yeah, of course.
If we have to fail, I got to save all my genius for the actual gameplay.
Yeah, no, of course. That's a very important strategy here on the desk.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the broadcast though, throughout the weekend so far. On a real note, just kind of talking about the venue and everything that's happened throughout the course of the week.
Is that a death rattle? Does that count as a death rattle?
I think it might. I'm not too sure. Something in the universe is speaking to us in ways that I can't naturally or necessarily process. But they are having fun in the OBS room, in the prod room, I am sure. But what I was going to say is the venue actually has been quite nice throughout the course of this weekend. There has been lots of games played in the back room there. It's a little warm in there, I will say, from all the bodies and all the PCs. But they got a lot of cooling stuff that's set up in there as well that they're trying to get to make sure everybody's nice, cool, calm, collected, comfortable throughout the entirety of the weekend. But the Impact Gaming Center here has done a lot to accommodate for what we wanted on the setup here. Here at the desk, obviously having the LED screen behind us and having kind of just like a really visually appealing like couch setup has been super cool to not only be able to take a part in, but of course have everything set up. There was a good amount of setup that went into last night. I think we were here until about 3:30 in the morning, something like that, getting everything ready for today. And then I know a lot of the prod team was back here early in the morning this morning as well, getting everything set up. Look at Ron over here. I wish you could come over here and be on camera. We don't have the camera on unless they can switch the camera back to us real quick. But he is the one that has been going absolutely nuclear, not only on the timeline, but of course all the way through the weekend and really the season, just helping to create great. Get over here. We got the camera on. Come here, Ronald.
Does he need the...
Come have a seat, sweetheart. Come sit down.
Does he need the third headset?
Join in, have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
a whole
get on the
content piece.
headset.
A whole content
Here we
piece
go.
come
See,
out of
this is the type of thing that we were hoping to do from the very beginning. Just have like an open kind of floor for everybody to get in here and have some conversation with. But look, we're going to have a mock interview with you because we're having to fill right now because Robert told me to. Overall, what's it been like being able to kind of create everything for the CCL package that we see on broadcasts all the time, that we see throughout the weekend, or really just any given stream or content piece that we have in the CCL?
Really, it's a kind of the biggest thing we always say with the College COD and the team behind it is passion. Right, we want to keep making the sport better. We want to keep making the experience better for everybody who participates, plays, wants to join in and help out. This has been a volunteer project for a lot of us for a really long time, and it's really just because we love it and we work well with each other, and that makes us want to keep doing it bigger and better every year. So the broadcast visuals are cool, but I couldn't do it without everybody who wants to participate and hell, the other people who put it together. I mean, John is a wizard. I make the art, but he makes it move and do shit. So,
and he won't come on the camera because he doesn't want to be on the camera. Can you believe that? I've tried to invite him on several times throughout today, and he just says no every single time.
Yeah.
But another question for you: how long have you been here, in the side of the CCL, working to make the collegiate Call of Duty product what it is?
I was not here when it started. I am one of the founders of RIT Esports. I was their founding production director. I did their branding and the jerseys and whatnot. And I was tagged in to help with the original Fight Night back in Black Ops 2. 2 something forever ago. It's been it's been a long time. But every year we've tried something new and tried to innovate and see what else COD esports could be for more people. So
absolutely. Well, if you guys don't know who this is Ronald Wong.
Yeah.
But genuinely, he has been great not only throughout this weekend, but I mean, I've known you almost for 5 years at this point now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a lot longer. This is the first time we've been in person.
I know.
So that's something. But no, for real, he has been extremely influential in a lot of the ways that you guys might not necessarily see or directly know about, just from like an on-face product, but behind the scenes, just like Ron, like genuinely, there is an incredible team that is behind it. Not only every single broadcast, but every single broadcast package that we have. All of our producers, observers, the people that create not only content pieces, but build the show out. Obviously, John, if you would ever come out here, would be awesome to get.
They fixed it.
And and just talking about incredibly talented and fun people to work around.
Yep.
Robert coming out and being able to show us a sign that they fixed the issue that they were having. We now are going to be able to probably, I would assume, get into the game here in just a little bit. But just to kind of like finish up what I was saying, as you were kind of hinting on beforehand, like we genuinely do have a very incredible staff that does this out of the love of passion and the love of Call of Duty and the love of collegiate esports, more so than anything else. And to say that this team is incredible wouldn't be enough.
And all the folks that keep coming back to play. I mean,
somehow,
some way.
Somehow, some way. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, of course, Ron.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for helping us fill time.
For the record, Bobby, we did not say that.
Alrighty. So now we have our OBS issues fixed. I can get back to lounging now that Ron is gone and just get back and comfy and chill as we were beforehand. Let's talk more about what we should be seeing in this upcoming hardpoint between the St. Clair Saints and the Mars Hill Lions. If there's anything else to really even break down other than the fact that shoot gun, rotate hill, get time, win game. Ron, you don't have to keep it on this, or Rob, you don't have to keep it on the screen if you don't want to. You are more than welcome to, but you don't have to. I don't know. I don't think he's here.
I think he might still be running around with his sign.
He might be. So let's go ahead and talk about this hardpoint then, and actually, do this for the final time here today before we move on to what is going to be the rest of the championship bracket tomorrow. As I was trying to say beforehand at the beginning of the stream, yes, I was alluding to the fact that the Mars Hill Lions are no longer in contention to be able to qualify for Sunday tomorrow. This is the last match that they did have scheduled to play, so we're playing it out here for the remainder of what is going to be tonight. And we are in the hardpoint, no more filling. Let's go. Holy saved. Seawad's on the deep side, looking over towards Market KB in middle map on side P1. It's going to be good side spawns, at least for the moment, but Zuner with a little double. I say Cootie the entire weekend. He gets on screen, I say Cowdy.
Yeah. Stage fright. It happens. The best of us. Either way, he's going to pop for 2. Zuner's going to get the trade. Rupert there as well for the green. St. Clair Saints, early control towards P1. Garnering time. We talked about it coming into this, right? This should be a series very landslide favoring them. Based on the rapport these players have with one another, based on what we know, what we see on paper. St. Clair's a team where no matter how you dice it up, we always say throw out the numbers. This is a team that almost, kind of defies those numbers. Really, what they bring is the same every time. And again, that's because they've played so long with one another. So this hard point gets off to a good start for them. Mars Hill are able to get some points back in tandem, but it really just feels like St. Clair, when are they going to strike again? When are they going to find their next opening? P2 looks to be what's next for them.
See what's top red. Knows one's behind the Jenny, trying to get the drop down on it. AG and Zuner going to be there. They go 3 for 1 inside of the kill feed. Up on top red, Zuner will lay down with 46 HP before finally Rupert is completely knocked off the board. It's going to be deep blue spawns and a pitch that's going to set up on the opposite end because they get split out 2. Zuner at 4 in a row, 7-2 to start off the game here. Has had the hot hand for the Mars Hill Lions, the first hill and a half. 35 seconds left to play for here on P2. The push now coming in from St. Clair.
Multi-pronged attack. AG wrapping in the back just to try to stop this pinch from happening. Now he's going to get chased back, almost like a cat and mouse version of it, and it's going to be St. Clair. Not only do they win on the front side, but the flank doesn't even work out for them. So the transition towards the north side of the map going to be thwarted for the moment, but as far as time is concerned and accruing points that way, St. Clair going to be in. 10 seconds to go for. trying to get some kind of plane control, but I mean, KB's just going to rip two, try to get the third, sure, but you already have Rupert working through for this plane side. Splits come in for the moment. So you might have an advantage if you're Mars Hill just to maybe throw something at them that they aren't expecting. But as far as it's concerned, St. Clair managing the situation well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected Zuner lay down top green. That's a great play coming out of Mars Hill to at least give them a little bit more possession around this half of the map. Turn back around for KB. He's going to be able to snap onto Zuner. Lucho with an nade and AG will pair up top with the M15 in tow. Got a couple more bodies down low trying to make their way out of the top side window. Stewad's now trying to cross the mid-cut. Will be able to find one. Needs help from the teammates on the top side of the plane wing. Wants to get the drop and the jump over the top of the pistol. Now has the mod 15 in hand. Gets the full reload. Able to find one. Second on the snap down. Should be traded and absolutely will be.
Gunfight by White. Going to be lost for the moment, but it's going to be Seawad. Really any player you call to, right? Just trying to get out in transition. Whoever spawns up after the wave of gunfights, it seems like they know exactly where they need to be going. So it is going to be Seawad here early, just lying in wait, waiting for his team. They find a kill to get out. That should be the spawn flip. So now the green light's going to come in. Hey, you can push, you can pinch, you can try to find these kills. Gets taken care of. Kuda gets one on the other end of things. So now you know it's really a 1v1 in the back for time. New Hill pops. It's great for the moment. Kuda going to get on the worst end of bad timing. So what looked like a position Seawad was going to be able to make something happen. Mars Hill retains spawns for the moment.
Seawad's on the staircase. Can't find Arid. Cootie up through middle map. Has another one in market that's going to get the good and the best of the timing out through the middle map. Lucho on the drop down. Gets traded out by Rupert. 9 HP. Won't be able to survive. It's going to be another onslaught here from Seawads, though, who goes up top blue. Should be able to find one inside of the point. Trophy system going to get knocked down. Audio cue given away. Back 30 seconds now. For the side of St. Clair trying to contest this. They don't have the spawns just yet. It's still going to be back splits here for both sides. Through the front, though. Rupert finds another with 55 HP. Now has a fight against AG where he's got a double with his teammates' help.
And then the spawns are in the back. They're content holding from the front. Sure, you have to turn around, maybe try to pivot, but you also know these Mars Hill players are going to have to try to get out. You've fought for the time. You've got the majority of it here, knowing that they're on rotation. Zuner's going to be the one being hunted for by KB. As now everyone's going to backtrack. It's just going to be an awkward staggered push here for the moment, and you're going to clean up that last player fighting for scraps. So now Mars Hill know all the gunfights are going to be taken forward. Lucho is able to take care of another player as well, but the threat that Zuner was posing on rotation completely taken care of. It's going to be a complete setup for St. Clair.
Goody up middle map. Good snap on. 3 straight kills now for St. Clair. The kill feed continuing to light up green as they have the backside spawns lit up for them at the moment. 40-point gap now growing. KB looking to the front side. M15 in hand. Has another one on the plane wing and one above him. They actually doesn't get spotted out. Thought his teammate was going to be able to get the timing on it. Instead, it's going to be Cootie. Now forced to back off on the top side of window. Still a push in time remained here for St. Clair. Back through middle map. They've got one through mid-cut. AG on the push now forward. You got Lucho trying to make his way from the wing.
And how nice is that, the setup they have, the time that they're earning. Yeah, you can just kind of roam and push through mid-cut. They're trying to pinch, try to break from the front, but you have the opportunity, you have the resources to be able to say, okay, we're just going to rewrap the hill and make it a little bit easier for us to fight this contest from the front. They do just that. St. Clair now a 70-point lead as we go to the second set of rotations. They got off to a good start early, things tied up. But as we get things rolling at P1, presence here from Mars Hill.
The slaying discrepancy is actually quite confusing at the moment, too, because, like, realistically, it's not really one-sided in either way, especially for the disparity of about 60 points that we're seeing right now on one good hold. Mars Hill just have not been able to subsequently find the kills and then add additional timing on top of it. And that's kind of the struggle that we talk about all the time, right? It's like, okay, well, you can get the kills, and that's great, but what are you doing after you find the kills? Are you then pushing out too far? Are you being able to kind of, like, keep an area of the map locked down so you can get significant time on it? And right now, it feels like that's kind of the case for Mars Hill, where they're just kind of getting the kills that they need around the point, but then not being able to kind of lock down a small portion of the map. They feel like they're spreading their kind of defensive line way too far, and then once they stretch that thin, it just allows St. Clair to come in for the cleanups.
I mean, we're hardly halfway through this hard point. We played a hard point earlier today where 2 minutes ticked off the game clock in totality.
Yeah.
2 minutes have already ticked off here, so I think that does go to answer your question to say, yeah, whenever they're finding those kills, a lot of times sitting gray, it has been green or it has been gray, and that goes to hurt Mars Hill and what they want to do. That's something where, again, was a struggle point for them this weekend, continuing to show for the moment, but not able to make moves towards the objective behind the kills they are finding. They aren't getting outslayed, they aren't getting bullied around the map, they just aren't finding time behind what they're able to do, and that's making it that much harder for themselves.
About a 100-point game here on the P2 hold. Slide in from the bottom. Aaron will be there. Rupert pops a double. Hops up top, says hello to number 3 with the pistol. Swap back M15. You bet he'll find all 4. The entirety of Mars Hill getting knocked down by one man named Rupert. 40 seconds to his name, has the M15 still, is trying to watch two players on the top side of red, gets launched up into the air on the death cam, but with 15 seconds left, it's a 120-point game favoring the St. Clair Saints. The Griffins now trying to get out on rotation. Seawatts will back all the way down. Stun check on the opposite side, tries to get one weak and at least a little disoriented before he takes the gunfight. Instead, Mars Hill will continue to add on the pepper, the little bit of zest that they have left inside of their wings. It's still a 100-point deficit, but they have a rotation out to P3.
At least the question asked and answered of can they, garner some time behind this. They're in a good position. They found the kills they needed to. Now do they find a way to get wiped, or do they find a way to, like you said, garner it into something? They still have the opportunity to kind of chain it, get things going. But even with topside map control, the first 15 seconds bled near completely gray.
35 seconds left here. KB looks for the challenge top wing. Out and towards middle map, another one with a pistol swap is going to be able to connect on that for 5 in a row. 24 and 17 here for KB. Full top green control for him at the moment. Tries to turn back around. Aaron off the spawn is going to be able to connect there. Realistically, this is all about making sure they're set up back blue for the P4 rotation where they made their homestead the last time. Mars Hill trying to push in through middle map. They're going to get basically walked directly as cannon fodder into the iron sights of the players left on the St. Clair Saints. And effectively, they have been spawned out all the way across the map with 2 seconds left. It's going to be a direct dash and a digital foot race back over to P4.
Pinch to the front. In tandem, St. Clair cut it down. And Seawat's going to have the intel on where the next push is coming from. You can see all of the arrows redirect. Everyone's eyes forward, iron sharpened. Looking down the sides to thwart this next Mars Hill push as seemingly they can not find a single foothold in the map. And that's more so St. Clair just imposing their will at every turn. They've won the line share of rotations, but they've also done a fantastic job breaking to the point that Mars Hill have not been able to really garner any kind of momentum, any kind of steam here in this map. We said Scar, hard point for them coming into this. Was what it was. We've dissected this map enough today for you to know teams that get it. Teams that don't, well, they don't.
20 seconds left on the time. 15 for the win for St. Clair. Mars Hill trying to evade the 100-point club at 97 points right now. Just need 3 more to eclipse that legendary mark. And as Lucho's able to find 2, Zuner now through the front is going to get a direct nade landed right on top of him. What a wonderful cook in from KB. And that will do it for map 1. 250 to 97. The St. Clair Saints and the Griffins fly, fly, fly away. Don't ask me what that was. I'm tired. Let's fly away.
Oh, what a night.
I think it's
13
10.
and a half.
On broadcast, I think it's officially 10.
Okay.
Being at the venue, a little longer than that.
Yeah, a little longer than that. Okay.
A little longer than
10 and a half of broadcast. After hours, it starts to get a little crazy.
Oh, I mean, we could turn this into a sing-along if you'd like to.
We could. What's that, Bobby? He's muted again? All right, Alex, you muted for a moment. All right, I think we got out of our systems now. Yeah, St. Clair up 1-0. What we expected. Full stop in this series. A few more maps to go. Surely just 2 is kind of what we're all thinking, but St. Clair reps nonetheless going into Sunday.
14-25 from AG, 19 and 26 from Lucho. Unfortunate performances there from the Mars Hill Lions. On the opposite side, though, for St. Clair, have some good performers. Really everybody positive, so not much to kind of gripe about overall. The one thing I can say for St. Clair, and this has kind of been something that has been a staple for them over the course of not only when they were the Cabal roster last year inside of Challengers, but the St. Clair Saints roster too inside of the CCL, was the fact that they not only shared effectively a lot of the hill time throughout the team, but everybody just has an important role no matter what the score line looks like, right? If somebody could be 15 and 25, right, or you call it 15 and 30, but they're probably going to not only have a significant amount of hill time, they're probably making important plays around the maps. Yeah, maybe some of the gunfights aren't being won, but I guarantee you a lot of those gunfights are going to be gunfights that are important. And that's where St. Clair has a lot of their strengths come to fruition, and that's why a lot of teams give them the respect that they deserve, because not only, again, have they played together for so long, but obviously they have the ability to know where each other are playing on the map, and that chemistry and trust in one another is why they're, at least in the favors of myself and yours, the favorites to go ahead and win the CCL championship this year now that Oklahoma Christian are knocked out. Fisher's still going to be a difficult challenge for them, I'm going to be honest. But I think that for whatever reason, this is the 1 year that St. Clair has had the stars aligned for them, and it might finally be time.
I do think this is our third, if not fourth year of that being something in the realm of possibility. So yeah, for that to be a potential to come to fruition this weekend, would definitely be, you know, just exciting from you and I from a commentary standpoint. How long we've, of course, so many people have followed this team for so long, but I know we've been in so many Sunday situations with this team. So
would you call the St. Clair Saints the Buffalo Bills of the CCL? So close every year, just haven't been able to get over that hump.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
I feel like that's a pretty accurate
Who's Josh
thing.
Allen? Which one of them's Josh Allen, do you think?
Who's Josh Allen?
See, but that's almost the point I was making. There is no Mr. Do-It-All on this team. Everyone does what needs to happen, and that's almost like a corny caveat to the point that I was making. But
I wish I could take you serious. There is a text box
I know.
that is
That's why I was
dragged
looking at
across
you.
the entire screen by production right now, and I don't know if I should echo what is written on that text box or not. Okay, Robert told me that I will not, in a very stern and I need a talking to voice. So we're just going to pretend like that didn't come up across the screen. But we will see this gridlock coming up next. And this is actually something that I'm excited for because I love gridlock. Is it a bit selfish that I want to see this? Maybe just a touch. But I'm sure that you guys wanted to see a different map than like any other S&D map that we've played throughout the entire weekend so far, especially in a match as riveting as this.
if it's new to us, it's new to you guys. So we're all along for the ride. And if you're happy, I'm happy.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
And hopefully you guys are happy too. I know I already said it earlier, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying the broadcast throughout this weekend. The main goal was just to not only be able to showcase all these teams, but keep it relatively kind of casual throughout the weekend. A lot of matches being played today. It's kind of like trying to get you guys like maybe kind of a feel that you're in the venue yourself. I know it's kind of like impossible to do that, but really the goal of the weekend was to make sure that we put on not only a great broadcast, but of course told the storylines of the players, told the storylines of the teams that have been here throughout the course of not only the CCL season, but the course of this weekend, and make sure that for those of you who are still watching this at home, are able to live vicariously through everything that has happened here at the LAN Center. I wish we could get more cameos from different people on the broadcast because I feel like that'd be a ton of fun, but for right now, I think everybody looks kind of checked out.
Yeah, I know we're
except for yo, somebody make that for me. I want to see that. I want to see that just one more time. I want to see that one more time. Replay ops, can we get that little that he did right there one more time, if possible? Replay ditched the producer, so we will not have a replay per Robert. So that is just wonderful news. So if you want to go back and clip that on Twitch, go ahead and do that. If you're watching on YouTube, well, you don't need to clip things because that doesn't happen on there. You can just go back in time. Isn't that a great feature? Anyways, looks like we're loading into map 2 here. We're fluffing to the max right now. I hope you recognize that. I'm at least self-aware enough to be able to let you guys know that. Hopefully you don't take that as me not taking this seriously, because I promise you that we are trying to take this as seriously as humanly possible. It's just like this is a team of Mars Hill that is mathematically eliminated already from the weekend, will not be able to be playing Sunday. They have already been knocked out by losing to Wichita State yet earlier in the day, 3-0, which we saw on broadcast, which was a great series from Wichita State. There's a lot of stuff that we have to talk about tomorrow for all the teams that are making their way into Sunday. There are so many great and rich storylines that we're going to be able to tell throughout the day tomorrow, and that we're going to be able to follow along with, that I'm super excited for what our final is going to be able to bring us tomorrow. I know that we started with 8 teams and we're already halfway down throughout today, but genuinely speaking, I think you guys are really going to enjoy what we have in store for tomorrow's broadcast. Lots of new and exciting features that we are going to be able to share with you live, in a state of the CCL that's going to be in there as well. So don't want to miss that. However, the Search and Destroy here, we got to keep it current for right now. Rooper on the staircase laying down, not necessarily a stair glitch, but you could probably give him a yellow card for it. They're going to get it down on B, back off, nade to the top side window. It's a 4v4 retake.
All quiet for the moment, but something tells me that's going to change quickly, and it does. Goody for 1, Zuner for the trade, 3v3 going down. Less than 30 seconds to make a play on the bomb, but the wrap's going to have to happen quick out of Lucio. How many times did we call to Mars Hill? They wanted to make the right plays. They wanted to make the wrap. It didn't develop quick enough. Is this a moment where that works out? You get one, eyes are going to turn.
Good shots there from Lucio. Rupert trade immediately, but Zuner is there. Seawads, the last one on the long alley. It's going to be a dash back over towards the bomb, and with plenty of time to spare, about 2.5 seconds, it is going to be Zuner who locks it down. First round on the board for Mars Hill.
A quick wrap. And he won 2 gunfights at that. It wasn't even, you know, just a freebie. He waltzed into shooting 2 people in the back. Had to take 2 big gunfights there. Force the attention to split from the bomb side of things. And something he wished for Mars Hill maybe could have stuck earlier. But still good to see them, you know, execute that here. For 3 in the round as well. I mean, not much more you can ask for as far as a play that gets the one on the board early.
Back to the offense here. Looks like the spread for Mars Hill is going to be over on the A site. Directly into the rest of the map. Zuner's going to pop out towards middle. Doesn't recognize the 3 St. Clair Saints players are going to be flying directly forward. Gets the stick on the Semtech's back, but not before his teammate was able to be taken out by St. Clair. So an effective Lucio kill equalizes it a 2v2. Now it's a 2v1, KB and Cootie versus Lucio. The last alive here for the set of Mars Hill. Has the bomb, wrapping this all the way back over to B. Looks like they're going to be privy to it. I don't think Lucio actually spotted those 2 players out towards middle map. So if he's able to plant this here, might get some good timing on the fortunate wrap back, because they're going to go A instead of B.
Yeah, that'll be quickly halted now as the wrap back does come through. Lucio going to watch his back for the moment. I think he has an idea that this is where it's going to be coming from.
First gunfight opportunity, lines up the first, spotted the second, so you have the information now if you are Lucio. Difficult to clear all these different areas, and as Cootie goes for the hop-up, doesn't recognize on the backside of the ambulance, there's going to be the cheeky little Lucio waiting and stalking his prey. Clutch little 1v2 out from Lucio. Couldn't ask for much better of a start here from Mars Hill.
3 in the first round for Zuner. 3 in that round for Lucio. And the clutch up. Mind you, the only ones on the board for Mars Hill, so yeah, making it happen.
Lucio down low. Looking to be the first one to entry. St. Clair back to their roots of what they wanted to do inside of round 1. Maybe a different post-plan approach that they're going to want this time through. Treating this as maybe a glorified scrim here for an S&D rep on this gridlock. Bomb goes down. First blood, Aaron. Great, well-placed nade onto Rupert. KB spots one deep in the back line. That's Lucio, who's going to be trying to make his way forward. Last time he flanked, it was to great success. This time, Cootie going to be looking for one on the right-hand side. Chow slides forward, is going to spot one in the back. Second one, gunfight, left-hand side, great snap directly to the head. 3 versus 2 this time. They take 2 bodies off the board. How about he does it all himself? Number 3 in the round. They've got 1 final player. It's a 2v1. They know that he's got to push up the street with just 15 seconds left. Lucio will get knocked off the board by the final player, and the St. Clair Saints will double back and strike first.
Getting it going here on an offensive attempt. And as you said, Cootie kind of really, it's been 3 rounds, but 3 people with just big plays to kind of seal the deal. Zuner round 1, Lucio round 2, and for St. Clair this go around it is going to be Cootie. So whenever things have started getting rolling, it seems like one player has always been just in a prime position to make the plays happen. And that's been the tale of the gridlock to start. Our first time seeing it on broadcast here today. I mean, it's been exciting through the first few rounds, to say the least. You call to it maybe a glorified search and choice scrim in the sense that it's live reps against a team that definitely still would love to say they got the one on you here. And now our first decent look at A.
Nade Cook backed off. Zuner pushed up to the mid-tree pedestal. Got a lot of coverage that you can get here on side of the A site, making sure that you push everybody from St. Clair back to the spawn side. Bomb will look to go down here, though, as it will be a wrap back and now a post-plant retake opportunity for St. Clair. The first one through the doorway. Looks like it's going to be AG on the opposite side. Shot's not good enough. Trade immediate goes to Cootie as he's able to pair with Rupert. They get 2 there. Aaron able to find the best of the timing, and as they slide in, it's just effective trades across the board. Last remaining player on Mars Hill will find their demise, and St. Clair will be right back even at 2 rounds apiece.
Effective trading, yeah. I mean, there's really not too much else to expand upon
Pelosi. Effective trading. That one even got a reaction out of Robert. I mean, are you going to tell me I'm wrong? Have you seen her portfolio?
I mean, I don't think I've said anything yet. Oh. If we weren't broke before, surely this is what tips us over.
Pushing to the side. How about Rupert? Sun check around the left corner. AG gets the best of him in this duel. Lucho there for another. All of a sudden, it comes down to CWAD's last alive in a 1v4. He's able to make it a bit easier on himself. 1v3. They're all going to push directly into him. Line of fire lined up in the L triggers. St. Clair, after winning 2, will lose 1. Regained advantage here to the side of the Lions. So effectively here, not exactly sure where our feed is. There we go. There she goes. That's what I was waiting for.
Little game of hide and seek.
Lucho pushing this one up. This time it's going to be Mars Hill who want to go ahead and find their way over to the B site. Smoke's going to be out. Rupert will rock back through middle map. He gets away in just the nick of time. Going to go ahead and cook a nade directly on the feet of 1. Not going to be able to walk away with the gunfight win there. As Cootie as he pushes forward. So it's got all down to another player. This time, oh, it's going to be Rupert instead of CWAD. He finds the first blood. Will they all 3 sprint at him? Find out this time on an episode of Dragon Ball Rupert.
Two straight, 2-round advantage. Mars Hill. Getting everyone in the mix now was slow to start. But as you said, Aaron, kind of snowballing the effect. And to give themselves a stiff arm that they had for the moment. I mean, St. Clair, again, they got a couple good ones to go in succession. Aaron on 4 in a row. It always feels like a moment where when a player can get a handful of them in a round, it seems like Mars Hill find a way to compound behind that, roll that into some serious momentum. And you blink and you're back out to this, 2 rounds away from striking the series 1-1. St. Clair offensively an opportunity here.
Cooked up back right side. You're not going to spot anything out. Uncharacteristically slow round here from St. Clair. They just play a bit more passive over on air, waiting for somebody maybe from Mars Hill to get aggressive. Up and through middle map, KB is going to get the first bit of information, spots out Lucho, and that should be a given for player 5 and Zuner to wrap back over. This is exactly the look and opportunity that St. Clair are looking for, because on the opposite side of the map, Cootie's still got the bomb. And he's trying to get this thing planted down over at B. This is going to effectively drag the rotation. The one thing that you didn't want is to lose a life there, because now everybody's scrambling back across the map. CWAD's going to try and beat one in middle map, and you bet you'll find that first blood. Second one's going to be AG. Will back off. 53 HP. Lucho on a far flank. It's actually a full wrap back from AG, so this is going to be quite the difficult challenge here from CWAD's, because he's going to have a flanking player coming directly behind him as well, while Cootie now tries to help outside of middle map. It's a close gunfight won by the N15. AG last alive, gets the spot on 1, but that's a head glitch you do not want to challenge any day of the week.
And you called it being worrisome, just the fact that, okay, you lost one whenever you were really just trying to make noise over there, but CWAD played patiently in transition, knowing that he was, okay, I'm caught mid-map. I'm not going to try to overthink this. I'm just going to line wait. And again, it was with the AR, but did find the better end of timing. So just composed. It's hard to frazzle this team. And for CWAD just to have the situational awareness of, I'm not going to try to get back to you. Hold your own on the bomb site. Someone also has to rotate. You know, someone's in the back line. So just playing for that. I mean, again, just one of those small moments of decision making that end up compounding to a round win. It was already a fantastic play call. Watching it unravel was awesome. But again, to really be sure you put that round away whenever lives went back to even, a big play out of CWAD to help secure.
3 straight, 3 on site, 4 playing full defense here over on A for St. Clair. And guess what? Marcel said, you know what? Let's do the exact same thing you did to us. We're going to try that one out for size and see how it goes for us. 4v3 on the retake. Same kind of situation, though, happens where Marcel will lose a life on the retake back over on their own site. It's a full wrap back through spawn. 1 flanking member from St. Clair all the way deep on the deep street. You've got Rupert pushed up first here inside of the building, looking for information. Nobody's found a point of contact yet. CWADs will find one laying down in the kitchen. Someone call life alert. Grandma's fallen over.
and really what you were looking for was the bomb planner. And again, now you have someone on the back lines who has to turn ahead to make a flank. You're just going to look to pop it for this moment. Rupert going to try to cover shots, cover his teammate who is trying to get the defuse. It'll come through. Took a page out of the book. Couldn't quite get the execution. I did like the idea, honestly. I mean, just to fire it right back at them. I'm not mad at it. You can tell maybe that camp laughing a little bit at it too, but St. Clair, I think the big thing on rotation for them was finding the bomb planner. And again, you get good timing, right? It's not like he's even able to get one, just looking the wrong way, thinking the hop-up's coming through mid. So to get the bomb planner, send someone on a flank as well. Situationally, they're definitely making the right plays, making sure it's just not a one-dimensional look.
Does St. Clair have anything else up their sleeves when it comes to their bag of tricks that they're looking to dive into? It doesn't look like it's going to be anything tricky this time, just a straight-on assault back over to B, where they have done plenty of good work thus far throughout this series. First one, gunfight. Second one, over toward the right-hand side. Rupert will hop up directly above one and give them a 3v2 advantage. One life in the favor of St. Clair at the moment. Bomb has yet to go down. Aaron's going to be forced back off with 38 HP. Great shots in from KB. Will force AG last alive in a 1v3, and unfortunately in the backside spawn, he is cut down, minced, and diced. Seatbelt action put on him. 5-4 match point here from St. Clair.
Playing with aggression, just kind of turning on the jets here at the end of things. Not settling for the objective play, knowing when they had those players turning and tucking tail, go finish the kill, and that's something St. Clair also just again, it's just team awareness, right? There was no disconnect of, oh wait, I'm planting bomb, wait, you want me to come chase? You see times where players will do that, someone will get killed, not being in a position for trade. Often you see those plays fall apart. For St. Clair, the play was always going to be, you know, if I've got someone in front of me and they turn and tuck, we're just going to take after them and get the kill, clean up the round. So that's what they did. Combined 9-team spree as well. Seawads with 5 of his own. Hasn't died since a few rounds ago where they hit that initial feign play over towards the A site. Defense going across the map for the defense. It's going to be consolidated here. Bomb left and spawn for Marcel as well. So that's going to have to be garnered as your teammates try to at least back these players down, keep site control if that's going to be the play call. No one fallen just yet.
Slowly but surely making their way around the site. Goody jumped through sooner, dead. Second, the help of KB. 50 seconds left in the round here. Bomb's still in firm possession of Lucho on the Mars Hill Lions side. Slide back over, wants to get this plant down on the opposite side. Going to give them at least an opportunity to play the time here instead of having to take the direct gunfights immediately. AG will back all the way off into square. Looks back up towards middle map. No, there's going to be a push coming here from the left-hand side in just a moment. But all 3 players at St. Clair now looking to push their way forward. AG, 32 HP, going to try and challenge this out on the opposite side, but Seawads gets the best of him. And as Lucho falls away into the comfort of middle map, unfortunately the boogeyman follows him all the way through into the back rooms. 3-0 on the lives, a 6-4 map count here in map 2, and a 2-0 lead in this series for the Griffins of St. Clair.
Played a lot off the back end of Slaying there too. Just good team retakes on the bomb site. A lot of times forcing Mars Hill to, you know, back out of the site, not able to keep control in those moments, and now St. Clair firm control of the series. Up 2-0. Whoop. Maybe not the graphic. Maybe we lost it. There it is.
First blood battle, first 3 rounds, just flip-flop between either of the 2 teams. St. Clair don't come out on top of the 2 rounds they won the first blood on. Same thing happened for Mars Hill, the round they got the blood on. After that, though, everything straightforward into a T. Defense, and offense the last 4 rounds for the St. Clair Saints as they find their way forward. And Ron's going to throw a fruit gummy to me, and I'm going to catch it in my mouth.
Oh my god. Oh, I really thought.
Why are you guys lying? I literally caught that.
Oh, I know. I was behind you. I couldn't see clearly. Ron's one lying. Uh-oh.
Yeah, give me another one.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he did it.
No lies that time.
No lies that time. The first person we've seen in eons.
Maybe you can hear me chewing it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's a pink one. It's a Welch's gummy, if you're wondering. Not sponsored. Scar Overlord up next. St. Clair up 2-0 in this series right now. God, I'm really good at catching things in my mouth. That sounded awful out of context. So you're welcome for that one. What do you mean, why? Did you not? You didn't get to see that, Robert.
You leave that poor man alone.
Robert's the one harassing me, okay?
All right.
All right, Scar Overload, here we go. Got ourselves a load-in screen. It looks like these players finally want to get this series over and done with and send everything home for what will be the final sleep before Championship Sunday, where we will crown who will be the 2026 Black Ops 7 CCL champions, the newest champions after the three-peat of Oklahoma Christian has come through. Which team will it be? Will it be St. Clair? Will it be Fisher? Will it be Cumberland? Or will it be Wichita State? Maybe not the Final Four that everybody thought was going to be there. Maybe it's a shock and maybe it's a surprise. But shocks and surprises are the best things that we have as humans to be able to give us the joys of life in timely manners. Aaron up through middle map. A trade there for Rupert. And market has been cleared out here by St. Clair. They want to go ahead, grab that objective, put it inside of the overload point as quickly as possible, and then get back, of course, for a rally attempt.
For the moment, the call going to be KB just lying in wait, trusting what your teammates can do to kind of ease the pressure on the middle of the map, but not going to win the gunfight, so he's going to have to give up that positioning, wrap back, quickly scoops for a kill, and now reassuming his post. See what gets spotted. Gets taken down as well. It's really just KB's job for the moment. Hey, what are you going to do here to just give us an easy avenue once we scoop this objective? But that is just not coming through for the moment. It's been pressure out of Zuner, really not letting a clean avenue come in for St. Clair to scoop the objective. And on the unfavored side of things, Mars Hill definitely trying to find any opening where they can, but knowing defensively is that's going to be where their efforts are.
Rupert has to deal with one top green. Unfortunately, Lucho wasn't spotted out. Aaron now at the half-yard line, going to be able to knock down everybody from St. Clair that's trying to push their way forward. It's going to be closer spawns towards the bottom side of red, but really this full spawn control right now has been pretty good here from Mars Hill. They don't recognize that Cootie slipped all the way through the back net, and the timing could not have been worse. The payload respawns with 38 HP. He's going to slide back out. Gets a bit of help from teammates to keep him a bit weaker, but it's the gunfights that continue to fly in the lead as green. To a B detonation that comes right on in. The St. Clair Saints on the board.
Cut off man, C-Wads. He's going to try to even buy time, but that's not going to be the case for the moment. Now as you see the objective on the north side of the map. You can see Mars Hill playing around it. You know what they want to do. Of course, everyone, you know what they want to make happen here. Of course, keep St. Clair off of it. Try to give themselves a chance to work, but the choke points that they have to go through are just so tricky. That's why you see them stand around it, try to figure out, formulate behind the kills, what plays they can make happen, and whenever your plan unravels, well, leaves an opening for the opposition to retaliate. St. Clair do just that, find themselves up 2-0.
Deep spawn was right out. The good news here for Mars Hill is that you have not only a two-man spread in middle map, but you have Lucho who's pushed up all the way top blue. Cootie will read him out, and your entire line of defense and offense that you had pushed forward is completely cut off. So now it's all depending on Zuner, who's on the bottom side of red, and the closer spawns by the top and bottom side of P2. If you look to push forward here, Cootie's going to be the man trying to go ahead and at least thwart this push as it flies forward. You had the rest of the teammates inside of middle map help out, and now it's a flank that's coming through from C-Watts at the same time. Yes, Aaron is still there, but it's all going to be about the pickup. Who's going to be able to find their way forward? About 2 minutes left here in the round to play for St. Clair with a comfortable margin of 2-0.
P2 control garnered. Payload secured. And this will be for Mars Hill. Relatively a waltz into it. As they're able to control that bottom side of the map. And now off spawn. I mean, again, St. Clair immediately, just assuming the position of applying pressure, they trust that, okay, we have one gunfight to win mid-map. AG's going to take down. Now that we know who he is, we get that scoop. Score is going to be the play. They've got to get these eyes forward now as these gunfights look to try to roll in. Objective. Punch through another one as quickly as you respond and maybe draw it to a 1-score lead. St. Clair get it through.
C-Watts pushed all the way forward, and that allowed them to spawn pretty close out by plane wing. Inside of top green, C-Watts doesn't actually get the read, but the turn back around on Lucho, disgusting out of the young lad himself. 14-7 here inside of the map. Cootie looking to push his way forward. Darren and Zuner clear out the back line, but while all that was happening, the mirage of a distraction was directly in front of them, and the Magician slips in to get the full score of the round.
Halfway there. Halfway there to the score. I don't have as many magic words as you do, all right?
Yes. uh. 4-1 lead for the St. Clair Saints. Trying to close this out in a 3-0 fashion. They would improve to 3-0 overall. They have yet to drop a single map throughout the entire weekend thus far to anybody who is within their group of Group B. On the season, they've played more series than any other team has inside of the CCL. So much practice, so much finesse, so much allure to this team overall. It's a joy to watch them every single time that they step on a map. And they've already got the overload pushing this back towards the backside of blue. Rupert in a great spot to be able to contest for one. The player that had the device, though, does get chopped down by a few players on Mars Hill, and now as Cootie looks to push the white van, he makes meat of the playoff fest.
What more can he get just to cause problems, just to chop it up in the spawn side? It does enough. Finding the one kill, turning the eyes off the player off spawn to put another one in. That's going to be 5-1 here. And we talked about role players for St. Clair. And kind of how everyone does what needs done on the map. There is no hero player. There is no, I'm looking at Cootie to if he doesn't play big, the rest of the team has to step up. It's
That's when you know you have a good team.
Yeah, that really is. There is anyone at any given time. You expect them all to show up, I think, more so than just one player. Oh, so-and-so doesn't play well. Ooh, how does this team's odds change? It doesn't for St. Clair, because if someone's playing slow, you don't even have to call upon the other three to step up and do more. They're already doing the most that they can for each other. They do so well playing for one another, setting each other up. It's just very selfless Call of Duty. No one's playing for the numbers. They want the wins, they want the championships, and like you said, it's been a perfect streak to this point. They're on 11, the closest map that they've had to this point, and didn't even falter there. And the repetitions they're getting in now just go to show they want this to be the year.
Green nade cooked by AG. C-Watts uncharacteristic there with the pistol, not making those shots connect, at least at the beginning. Great tracking, though. We'll go ahead and lock it on down. They've got a flank that's coming in now on the opposite side. Player number 8's trying to push up directly to the mid-cut line of sight on the bottom side here. And as you can see Lucho on screen now, they're just trying to push this line back as far as humanly possible. Top green cut down. This is going to allow Lucho to make his way forward. Force these spawns maybe to be a little bit deeper over by red. This is probably going to be their best opportunity to be able to get a score in here, and they should be able to do so unless the back line is going to be able to say anything about it. KB, yes, there's a trade there that gets the player, that gets the detonation off, but the score comes in 5-2.
And that keeps Zuno in position to still have heads turned back here. Able to find Rupert for the good, but now trying to figure out where these players are off spawn. Yeah, C-Watts is going to end up getting the better of that, so you continually look to pin them down. On the disadvantage side of the map, P2 is going to be where, again, Marzo got their first score, mind you. They were able to control this side of the map, and the kills in succession to let them detonate the explosive. And it looks to be the same thing here again. Can they get the kill mid-map? Now the line surging forward. The lead blockers are also in the way. You've just got to make the slide. You've just got to make the dive. That's a 2-score lead.
All of a sudden, Mars Hill getting a rally in. Feeling a lot better on the map at the moment. Is it going to be another one of those glimpses of success that we saw earlier when they played up against Wichita State, when there really wasn't anything else that they were able to put inside of the objective after those first 2 scores that came through on a rally? We'll find out now. Top side of the plane is going to be a north-south hit coming through from the St. Clair Saints with the payload in hand. Rupert will find AG. Trade immediately comes through there from Zuner as they go eye for an eye in the backside of spawn. C1 will flip back over on the right-hand side, and now it's going to be all about mitigating the push that's coming back up through middle map from St. Clair.
Trying to give yourselves a little bit of breathing room, and as the payload resets, you are happy with that. Just to alleviate pressure coming off spawn. Now you can all work towards mid-map and assure St. Clair further push as far as that's concerned, but not much control to show for it, so Mars Hill are going to be happy to do battle here at a neutral site and do what they can to get objective. I think with it still being 2 scores, you have, less than 70 seconds to this point to make something happen. Definitely not impossible, but you're going to have to play with a little more tempo and urgency if they want to get this done. A lot to clear out the back lines. They definitely don't want to give anything up for free, but with 3 down in the feed, that's going to be one of their best looks.
Triple kill on the offense. KB is really the only line of defense that you have here close enough to make something actionable happen inside of Market. As Rupert and KB were there, AG's at least able to slide out, but with 45 seconds, you really got to start pushing the tempo. The pace needs to be there. You have to rely on Lucho to find something here as he's pushing his way forward. You've got C-Watts playing the top side of red, waiting to be that contested player as somebody sneaks through the line of defense that they have for him. They're trying to wrap this one maybe through middle, trying to get it over on A. C-Watts with 35 HP jumps out with the pistol, and that might just be the dagger here in Game 3.
The all clear, the surge forward. Sure they'll maybe scoop it for the consolidation as they give it one more look, trying to punch one more here on this Mars Hill team.
9 seconds remaining. Cootie inside the point. Well on their way to a great start and a bidding effort for a national championship. St. Clair will finish out of Group B undefeated on the day. They will go 3-0, 9-0 in map count. They will be the first seed out of Group B. They will play the second seed coming out of Group A, which will be Cumberland. So we have our matchups officially for tomorrow. St. Clair, Cumberland. Fisher versus Wichita State should be a phenomenal day of matchups tomorrow. And as Mars Hill are eliminated from competition throughout the weekend here, unfortunately, they will place a top 8 inside of the CCL. Again, no snuff whatsoever. Mars Hill came into this season wanting to play for a championship, wanting to get to LAN, wanting a chance to rewrite some of the times that they have been able to have fruitful success in the past. Unfortunately, does not end the same way that they maybe were hoping, but irregardless, for all the teams that made it to LAN this weekend that have now been eliminated, it has still been a phenomenal season for themselves. They've gone through the gauntlets. They went through the regular season, the conference championships. They then went to the regional playoffs. Then they had the CCL playoffs, and then they were able to get to LAN all the way through. They played at least 3 matches here today throughout the group play. So we'll say goodbye to the teams that came out that no longer are in contention. That, of course, being Oklahoma Christian and Nwosu from Group A. From Group B, we will say goodbye, unfortunately, to Mars Hill and to Texas State. Those are the teams that finished top 8. They will be the ones eliminated. The teams fighting again for a championship tomorrow. We'll show the graphic here in just a moment, but it will be St. Clair. It will be Wichita State. It will be the side of the Fisher Falcons, and to wrap it all out, throw up a C for the Cumberland Phoenix as they will be moving on to Sunday. That's our 4 teams fighting for a national championship tomorrow. We'll look at the highlights from this series one more time, aka from our overload. And Robert said the replay ops left us. It's interesting that we still have highlights here somehow.
Someone
lied.
telling not the truth.
Someone lied to me.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
And all I get is a
chuckle.
passionately laughable chuckle out of Robert from the production room in the headset out here. But just looking one more time back at the series, I mean, realistically, we knew coming into it there wasn't a ton to play for. We knew St. Clair was moving forward, and Mars Hill would have been already eliminated. But for the purposes of parity throughout the rest of the teams going into Sunday and into the bracket tomorrow, obviously need to have all the matches played out in total. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket real quick for tomorrow. We have apparently the bracket, unless it's not ready yet. There it is. We got the bracket for tomorrow. And as I mentioned beforehand, it will be the Fisher Falcons versus the Wichita State Shockers. I guess it is worth mentioning how this is going to work in terms of where teams will move on. The 2 teams obviously losing in winners round 1 will drop down to lower round 2. In losers finals, of course, that will be the team that wins in losers round 1 moving on there. Winners finals will have the team drop down to losers finals. And if you've watched any bracket beforehand, this is exactly how it works every single time. But for continuity purposes, the team that wins the winners finals and the team that wins the lower finals will face off in a best-of-7 grand final to define who will be the 2026 Black Ops 7 Collegiate Call of Duty champions on LAN at the Impact Gaming Center in St. Louis, Illinois. I had to do it one more time.
Point to it on a map. There it is. And I know we're going to save the bulk, but all of the talking points for this tomorrow. Looking at this, I know it's definitely been a long day. Looking at the bracket, though, it definitely is exciting. I'm very excited to tap into what all we have ready to talk about between these teams. Does it look different? I'll even speak for myself to what maybe predictions were saying. Absolutely. I think that's going to make for a fantastic championship Sunday. We have stuff on the docket that we haven't seen before as far as appearances go, and a lot of firsts for these teams that we're really going to delve into the storylines of tomorrow. But having a look at the 4 that are up here, again, all 8 teams show up to LAN, and everyone wants to compete for a championship.
Yep.
These are the 4 we have left standing, and they're going to be ones that as true competitors, right, nothing better than the win is going to feel, satisfactory. We talked to a couple players saying a top 4 finish for our program would be fantastic. This is our first time here doing X, Y, and Z. You're going to put the blinders on come tomorrow. You're playing for a championship. Top 4, not going to feel good knowing that you're in the spot you're in.
Absolutely. Well, that, I believe, is going to do it here for the broadcast on our Saturday portion of the CCL LAN Championship Weekend here at the Impact Gaming Center in St. Louis. It has been a pleasure to bring you the entirety of what I believe is about 11 hours of the coverage that we have had today. Lots of laughs, lots of fun along the way. I know we've had some funny moments along the way through here and there. But again, hopefully you did enjoy the majority of what we had to deliver on our broadcast for today. That being said, we are going to be back here tomorrow, I believe, at 11 p.m. Central Time, so 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. over in the Pacific region if you are coming to us from the West Coast. But tomorrow we will, of course, not only have the continuation of our tournament, but the bracket play with winners, lowers, and grand finals. We will define a champion. We will also have a State of the CCL address coming to you tomorrow as well, so lots to look forward to. Until then, though, we will say goodnight here from the Impact Gaming Center in St. Louis. Stay safe, and we will see you back here at 11 Central tomorrow for the continuation and finale of the CCL LAN Championship in 2026.